Hi, this is Kevin with Naples Lawn Service, and today we're going to show you how to replace the seat switch on a John Deere 636M stand-up zero-turn. Okay, just to tell you what this thing was doing, this is my 636M. Yeah, I think it's like 2019 or so, 2020, something like that. Anyway, when you were running along cutting with the blades on, it would just shut off. The whole mower would just shut down. It didn't do it with the blades off, but it did it with the blades on, so we knew it was some sort of a switch issue. And then sometimes you could jump up and down where you stand over here. You could hop up and down and it would reset itself and it would work good again. So we knew it was probably that switch down there. They call it a seat switch, but actually on this mower, you're standing up and your weight of your body on this bracket right here is what turns this switch on or off. And this is what one looks like right here. It's called a seat switch, even though there's no seat on here. This is anywhere from $12 to $20. You can get it at John Deere. We buy ours at Everglades Equipment Group here in Naples, Florida. Yeah, but you can get them anywhere, Amazon or whatever. And I'll give you the part number. The part number for this is AM 104403. That's AM 104403, and it's just going to come in a little bag like this, and it's just a little switch like this. Okay, the first thing we did to diagnose this thing is we just unplugged the switch, the wiring harness from the switch, and we plugged this little piece of copper wire in there to just jump it over, remove this, to just bypass the switch, jump it over, and see if it solved the problem. And it did, so that's how we knew for sure it was that switch. I'll show you where that switch is. Okay, so to jump the switch, all you got to do is pull this green panel off here. This one knob will take care of that. Just go ahead and loosen that up and pull that panel off. That's how you're going to get down there to the switch initially. Now we'll show you how we jump that over. Okay, first thing you're going to do is go ahead and unplug that wiring harness. All right, now we're going to take our little copper wire and we're going to jump over between the two outlets in that receptacle. We just plugged in that wire there into that receptacle. And this is just for testing. You can just test it like this. You don't want to run it like this and mow like this all the time, but this is just to go ahead and test it out to see if the switch is the issue. And then if it is, you want to pull that back out of there, and then I'm going to show you how to replace the switch. Okay, now tools you're going to need are an impact wrench or a socket, half-inch socket, ratchet, I mean. This socket here is 3/4 inch, and then you're going to have open end 3/4 inch, and a pair of needle nose pliers, and a jack or two to jack this thing up, because you're going to have to pull off these tires temporarily. Okay, so we went ahead and jacked it up. It was easier just to use 2 jacks. You could probably use 1, but first thing you do is jack it up, and then we're going to pull these tires off. Okay, then you're going to remove that wheel and tire. And this is just so you can get to these bolts. These bolts right here, there's one on each side. They hold onto this tray, this black tray over here that you stand on when you're driving. And so you got to get that tray out of there. So now you're going to remove your tire from your other side. Okay, next thing you're going to do is pull this green cover off right here. Spin that knob, get that cover off. Okay, next thing you want to do is pop these springs off. There's going to be one on each side. Okay, next thing to do is put your open end wrench on this bolt down here in the corner, and then put your ratchet on the other side, and you're going to remove that bolt. There you go. Okay, now the same thing on the other side. You're going to remove that one bolt. All right, now you're going to slide that black tray out of the way. Okay. All right, now you have full access to that switch. You're going to go ahead and unplug it. Okay, now here's your new switch. You got some tabs you're going to squeeze so that thing sinks in there where it's supposed to. All right, we're going to squeeze on the old one's tabs, and we're going to pull it out of there. Now you're going to take off this little rubber piece that's on here because that's going to need to go onto the new one. Okay, now you're going to squeeze your little tabs on the side of that gray switch to sink it back into that hole. And those little tabs is what's going to hold it in there. All right, now you're going to plug it back in with your wiring harness. All right, now you're going to take your tray and put that back on. Okay, now you're going to put your bolts back in for your tray. You're going to have one on each side. One nut, one bolt. Okay, put your open-end wrench back on your nut and bolt. And then your impact wrench or your socket on the other side. Okay, so you're going to put your nut and bolt on each side, and then you're going to put your springs back on. Okay, now the needle nose work great putting the springs off, but putting them back on, we're going to use some channel locks because they grip a little bit better. Okay, now you're going to put this cover back on and tighten down on your knob right here. That's going to tighten down your cover. Okay, now you're going to put your tire back on each side. All right, and the same thing on the other side. Put your tire and wheel back on. Okay, we should be good to go now. I just want to tell you, the way this switch here works is when your body weight's standing on this plate, it's going to go ahead and push in and it's going to close that switch, which tells the machine that you're on here safely, and so you can go ahead and mow. But this is just a make and break. So if this breaks its continuity on the inside of this, it's telling the operator that you're off the mower, and really you're not off the mower. So anyway, that's just how this switch works. It's very simple, very easy. It's just a safety switch, and that should take care of it. It's much easier to replace them on any sit-down zero turn. You don't have to go through all of this, but that'll be a different video for the sit-down zero turn. But that's how you replace your seat switch on your 636M John Deere stand-up mower. So there you have it. That's how you fix that quickly and easily, inexpensively, and get your mower running again. If you liked the video, go ahead and like it. And if you want to subscribe, we're going to have a lot more videos coming out on how to fix everything John Deere.